Hello and welcome to another guide. In this guide I will be showing you how to get from level 1 farming all the way to level 99 if you are on a budget and you cannot afford to just use the best trees all the way up to 99. I will be showing you the GP per experience of every training method, excluding the herbs and allotment, because you will be profiting while doing them, and I will be providing you with a calculator so that you can calculate your profit. Here's a list of items I highly recommend that you have before you start training. Herblore, it's a magic secateurs, which gives you 10% more yield from crops. Ectophile, which teleports you to the Ectofontes. Explorer Rings 2, which teleports you to Fallador's farm. Ardon Clock 2, which teleports you to Ardon farms. Although Ardon Clock 1 is fine, it will just take you a longer time to get there. And the Serix Talisman, which is a drop from Lizardman. From level 1 to 13, you should do 950 sulfurous fertilizers. To do this, you need to first have 5% Hosidious Favour, which I will show you how to get. And once you finish them, you can hand them in to achieve 100% Hosidious Favour. And for level 13 to level 20, you can just complete Fairy Tale Part 1. In case you do not have the 5% required Hosidious Favour, what you need to do to get the first 5%, first you go to Hosidious, which here is the square, then you head down to one of these farms, and what you do is that you push the plows. Eventually the plows might break, which is why we've got with us a hammer, so that when it breaks we can left click on it and fix it. Unfortunately, since I am 100% Hosidious Favour, I can't show you the favor actually going up, but it does increase very slowly, and after you get the 5% favor, there it is, there's the broken, and after you get the 5% favor, you can stop doing this completely, because you will no longer need to do this, not even to increase your favor, because for increasing your favor you will be doing the fertilizer. Alright, so now you should have finished the 950 fertilizer, and what you do, you don't need $1 million inventory or anything, you can leave them at your bank, and then you can talk to the clerk, and you can just talk to her and she'll take all of the fertilizer from your bank. And what that will do is that will take you from 5% straight up to the 100%, and you won't need to do any more of them. These are the trees which I highly recommend that you do if you are on a bit of a budget. As you can see, the GP per experience of them is relatively low. Acorn is around 2 GP per XP, and willow tree is about 3 GP per XP. Maple trees and yew trees are a lot more expensive. They obviously give more experience, but each experience you have to pay around 9 GP per experience. If instead of paying instead of using ultra compost for yew trees you pay for protection, the GP per XP will increase to about 11, so I highly recommend that you just use ultra compost for yew trees. The same is true for magic trees. If you pay for protection, it will be much higher than if you just use the ultra compost. And honestly, I'd pay 2 GP per experience for 14k experience. It's not bad. Now this is about fruit trees. I highly recommend that you do fruit trees. Fruit trees are a lot more cost effective than normal trees. As you can see, they are giving more experience than the trees of their level at a lower price. Apple trees give you 1.4 GP per XP, and banana trees are at 1.5 GP per XP. Orange trees are at 1.2 GP per XP, and curry trees are at 1 GP per experience, so curry trees are extremely cheap. And 3k experience sure isn't a lot, but hey, it's basically free experience. And now for pineapple trees. you need to pay 0.2 GP per experience, which is a lot cheaper than any of the other options. That's basically 5k experience for doing nothing. And papaya trees are 0.7 GP per experience, which obviously it's quite a jump between 0.2 and 0.7, but since papaya trees are still relatively cheap, I highly recommend that you do papaya trees instead of pineapple trees. Now we get to the expensive fruit trees, which are palm trees at 4 GP per experience, which if I were on a budget I would definitely not do palm trees, I would just stick with the other trees. And dragon fruit trees, which are 12 GB per experience, I highly recommend you to just not do them if you're low on cash. Now, these are the stuff that I highly recommend that you have with you when you're going to do a tree run, which I will also be showing you my method of tree runs. What you definitely need are teleportation runes. I bring all of the 4 elemental runes and the law runes. Weight reducing clothing like graceful. Completion of the grand tree so that you can teleport all around Gillinor using spirit trees. Ardon Cloak so that you can go to Brimhaven from the Ardon port. Skills Necklace so that you can teleport to the Farming Guild. And around 3k coins, most of it will be spent so that they chop down the tree for you, so you don't have to waste time doing that. I will now show you an example of a tree run. I will be using 5 fruit trees and 6 regular trees. Do not forget to bring with the required payment or ultra compost if you will be using that. Remember that you can store the ultra compost at the Dual Leprechaun. And that's our fruit tree run completed. Or rather, not just fruit trees, but all of the trees. Now, for herbs. You should always do the highest level herb you can, as generally they are all profitable. If you are low on cash, maybe you should skip the runner weed and the snapdragon, because if you lose one of them, that would be a big chunk of your cash stack gone, since they are both around 50k GP each. There's a calculator on the wiki which you should use, and it tells you how much you are expected to profit from each seed you plant. Make sure to tick the correct boxes and to input the right level, as the profit and experience will vary according to the level you insert. Allotments. Allotments are something which you should do alongside with herbs. They are very cheap experience, and since they are at the same location of the herbs, you should do them while you're there, because why not? It's free experience. At level 20 you can plant sweet corn. Unfortunately, you need level 23 to plant scarecrows, and when you plant scarecrows, the sweet corns won't die. It is highly recommended that you keep on doing sweet corns all the way to level 47, because otherwise you might risk that your plants die, and We don't want that. White lilies can be planted at level 58, which will protect all of the allotment crops. There isn't really any point of planting it because watermelons are still going to be the best experience you're going to get, and as we already discussed, they can be protected by planting Nostradums. You should always use ultra compost on your patches because it will increase your yield and therefore you will make more experience. Now, I will be showing you soon a herb and allotments run. It is highly recommended that if you do not have a bottomless bucket, you store ultra compost added to leprechaun because otherwise it will fill up your inventory. You should use a stamina potion, especially if your agility is low, because we'll be running a lot. You should have a skills necklace to teleport to the farming guilds. You should have a Sheriff's talisman to teleport to the current patch. If you do not have a Sheriff's talisman, honestly you shouldn't even bother trying to go to the current patch. You should also have an ectophile to go to the cannabis patch. If you do not have the ectophile, don't bother going there. You should also have Exploring 2 to teleport to the Volator patch. If you do not have Exploring 2, you can just use an Amulet of Glory and teleport to Trainer Village and walk into there. And then you need Ardown Cloak to teleport to Ardown, to the Ardown farm. Now I will be showing you an example herb and allotment run. For herbs I will use Cantadine, and for the allotment I will use watermelon seeds. Do not forget to bring with you the rake, the spade, so that you can retrieve what you've planted, and the seed ripper so that you can plant more seeds. Stamina potion is highly recommended because you'll be running a lot. I'll be using a bottomless compost bucket which can hold a lot of ultra compost in it. If you do not have it, you can just store your compost at the tool leprechaun. Alright, now I'm going to start off the run. Tithe Farm is something that you unlock at 100% Hosidious Favour. It also requires level 34 to start. At level 34 you'll be making 25k experience per hour. At level 54 you'll be making 60k experience per hour. At level 74, you'll be making 100k experience per hour. The positive about doing Tithe Farm is that it is free experience since you won't have to spend anything. The downside is that it is extremely high intensity. If you want, I posted the guide how to do it down in the description below. Thank you all for watching. I hope you found this guide helpful. If you did enjoy watching this guide, feel free to like. Consider subscribing if you want to be notified of my future uploads, which will mostly consist of similar guides. Thank you again for watching, and I hope to see you again in the next one.